Peace, 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 love, light of healing, peace, love, light of healing, peace to the gods, peace to the earth. Y'all climb on in. If you can hear me and if you can see me, type in some nines. Because it's saying I'm paused because I'm not using the app when I'm most definitely on my app. So if you can hear me and if you can see me, type in some nines. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Yo, yo, yo. Blessings, blessings. Shalom lakah. Shalom alaikum. Peace be unto you. Let's talk about some things. Make sure y'all got y'all pens and y'all pads because y'all know we finna go in real quick. Peace, peace. I'm gonna let y'all climb on in. I wanted to speak on seedless fruits. I had did a interview with Bobby Smith. Shout out to Bobby Smith from Ohio. He's been on his mono fruit fast for a long time now. You know, promising results. He's looking good. He dropping weight. He done healed his body of all his diseases, so-called diseases, by going through his detoxification for going on his mono fruit fast. But I did an interview with him a few months back. And during that interview, we talked about seedless fruits. And I made a statement and said that, you know, seedless fruit was a natural occurrence of nature. And it's somebody out there, you know, trying to clout chase or whatever he's trying to do. But anyways, he's talking real bad about me, saying that I made that story up. Like I'm not a biochemist, like I'm not a botanist, or I don't know nothing about fruits, the kinds of fruits and how they develop during their embryonic stages. So I came on here to set the record straight to prove that everything I say to y'all is true. You can look up everything I say to verify everything I say. I never lie to you. I'm not that type of person. I don't move with that type of integrity. What comes out of my mouth, I know for sure, and I can always prove it, and I always back it up scientifically. So the only reason why I'm even making this video and responding is because it had over 300 comments on the video that he posted about me saying that I made this story up. Once you start getting up there, I gotta respond. You know, so I ain't gonna say the person's name because I'm not trying to promote nobody, especially not nobody like that don't know what the hell they talking about and haven't done their own due diligence and research before they made a video about somebody. Don't know nothing about me, nothing about my studies, nothing about nothing when I am a true studious study of my work. You know, so I'm not going to mention his name, but I am going to reply to what he said. So he said that I made up the story about the seedless watermelon and the seedless grape being a natural occurrence in nature. These are things that you can look up for yourself. In 1870, it was a man by the name of Thompson. Thompson, he actually come from Turkey. He moved to California. He ended up finding in nature a natural occurring grape cluster. And he noticed when he looked at this grape cluster that it did not have any seeds, you know, and he like, damn, I see all these clusters of grapes, thousands and thousands of grapes on each cluster. And I'm looking at them. I noticed they don't have any seeds, and it baffled him, you know. So what he did was he went into his own scientific experiment, and what he noticed is that this grape had what you would call a propagated mutation going on within it, meaning that before the seedling became hard, because there's no foreign on the record, there's no such thing as seedless fruits. Let me say that again. Foreign on the record, there's no such thing as a seedless fruit. What we call seedless fruits is fruits that doesn't have a hardling to the seed. So it's damn near see-through. It's so translucent and it's so small that you can't even see it. That's what they call seedless fruit. But everything have a seed to it unless you genetically modify it and you put beta blockers or what you will call magnesium blockers in it and manganese blockers to force it not to have a seed, then it has a seed. Most of your seedless fruits is not GMO. That's why you are able to put organic label on seedless fruits. Now, I'm not here telling you to eat fruits that's seedless. You would never hear me say that in my life, but I'm here to prove my point. I'm not saying you can eat a seedless fruit. I never promoted eating seedless fruits. You can't find one video on the World Wide Web of Yahki or Yahki, whatever y'all want to call me, saying that you can eat seedless fruit. But truth is the truth. Everything that these scientists is doing, Everything that Bill Gates is doing, everything that the DuPonts is doing, everything that these globalists are doing, they are getting these things from nature initially. And then what they do is they copy nature because they want to play God. So your first seedless fruit was actually found in nature. It's a genetic misrepresentation of nature is where you got this seedless fruit from. It was actually found in ancient Roman. Then another one was refound by Thompson in actually Turkey. And he figured out a way to make millions of dollars off of them by bringing them over here to California and propagating them and regrowing them from that same cutting. And this is where you get seedless fruits from. So he in Turkey, he found a grape. The grape did not have seeds from it. He was wondering how could it be. He ended up finding out that actually grapes is what you would call a diploid. What a diploid is, the first word is di, which means two. Ploid means chromosomes. So when you look up the word diploid, it means two sets of chromosomes. Just like humans are diploids. We're diploid human beings. If you look at a watermelon is a diploid. It has two sets of chromosomes from his mother and his father. If you look at a grape is a diploid. It actually have 19 sets of chromosomes from his mother and his father. Well, what happens is when an embryo goes through is what you would call metabolic process and is reproducing its seed, or what you would call angiosperm or endosperm. What happens is sometimes a mutation will step in play where that seed will not harden itself off. Now, if that seed doesn't harden itself off, then the seed doesn't form maturely, and then you will get these clusters of grapes that look like they're seedless when they're really not. So what he did was he figured out how many chromosomes was in this seed, and he said, how many chromosomes was in this grape? And he's like, damn, well, this grape looks seedless. How about I cut off the actual grape leaf that have grapes on them and propagate it? So what he did was he took natural rooting hormones and he dumped that seed cutting or that grape seed cutting inside of that root hormone, and he buried it, and he regrew a whole new grape vineyard, and it all looked like it was seedless. But if you get an actual microscope and you look into the grape, you will actually still see the transluted seed inside of the fruit. Again, there is no such thing as seeded fruit unless you literally put some type of chemistry on it and you GMO make it and you put hormone blockers or what you would call magnesium and manganese blockers on it, and you force the seed not to grow. But you do have natural occurring seedless fruits in nature that happen by nature due to a mutation process, and the seed doesn't harden off. And these are facts, and I'm going to show y'all this. This is not coming from Yahki. This is coming from articles. This is coming from a lot of stuff, y'all. So when you get into fruits, fruits have DNA. Strawberries have more DNA than humans. Let me say that again. Strawberries have more DNA than humans. I'm not talking about the information that's in the DNA, because we as human species, or what you call Homo sapiens sapiens and Homo erectus, of course, we have more information in our DNA than any other species here on Earth. But when it comes to actual strawberries, they have more DNA. They have less information, but they have more DNA. Apples have their own DNA. Watermelons have their own DNA. Grapes have their own DNA. We're talking about living entities. We're talking about living things. Just because they don't have eyes like us and they don't have mouths like us and they can't walk around like we do doesn't mean that they don't closely assimilate with us. You see that? Plants go through metabolic processes. Plants go through defecation. Plants urinate. Plants sex. They migrate. Plants do all the reproductive things that we do. Plants go through fight or flight. Plants have stress hormones and chemistries. Plants can communicate with each other through not only their leaves, but through their roots. Plants need the sun like we do. We go through biosynthesis. You see that? They go through something called photosynthesis, or we go through what you would call biophotomodulation, which is nothing but photosynthesis. It just happens to humans. So everything that goes on with a plant and with a fruit, it happens to us. You see that? Women plants produce seeds, just like what you would call a woman produce her seed that you would call an egg. And then you have some what we call seeds in males, which is really not a seed. It's just a fertilizer to the woman seed. The woman really have the sperm. We really don't have the sperm. The woman really have the seed. That's why if you look into nature, you see that all female plants come with a seed. Then you see the male plants come with the fertilizer. And then what happens is it actually uses a bumblebee or it uses somebody to cross-pollinate. And then that sex happen. And then you see the seed give birth to a child. Let's keep it 100. So even when you go into nature, you see that the female really is the seed holder. And what we do is we ignite the seed, what we call our sperm. You know, the more and more I get into this research, the more and more I can't even call it a sperm on how ours really work. Because if you want to really talk about seed and you want to really talk about a sperm, it's actually in the female plant, which means it's supposed to be in the woman. But we are so masculine in science that everything is about the man. So you see them calling our sperm, and we the one who give life. And we just call the woman, you know, her ovaries just produce an egg when it's really a seed she is producing, that the sperm, when we ejaculate in her, we ignite or we initiate the embryonic blastocell process where it actually goes through its separation. Can y'all still hear me? And we're going to keep going. I just got a phone call, y'all. So if it cut me off, let me know. Can y'all still hear me? If you can still hear me, type in some nines. If you can still hear me, type in some nines and we'll keep it going. Okay, yes. Yes, see, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not finna get on here and argue with y'all about a hybrid. You are hybrid, Negro. We are hybrids. We were created and mixed with other DNAs. We are hybrids. Look it up. There's so many scientific articles. We are hybrids of America, indigenous people, and West Africa, indigenous people. They're looking right now and finding DNA inside of West Africans and inside of North American indigenous people. They don't even know where it come from. They still haven't even figured out what DNA is in us. They still haven't even figured out, especially when we start talking about the classification of 7 root races in people. We are hybrids. Broccoli is a hybrided vegetable, and it's one of the most nutrients-dense vegetables on planet Earth. But y'all don't do y'all research. Y'all just regurgitate what y'all hear Dr. Sebi saying. Y'all regurgitate what y'all hear Dr. Lila Africa saying. Y'all regurgitate what y'all hearing the leaders that came before us saying, but y'all never go back and do the proper research to transform the information and knowledge that the elders gave us before they left here. Y'all have to quit repeating what people say and go do your due diligence and research. You see that? All hybrid. Every fruit you eat is a hybrid. A hybrid. You haven't had a natural watermelon. You can't even eat a natural watermelon. It don't even have any flesh in it. It don't even have any flesh. So guess what they had to do? Propagate and hybrid the actual watermelon. Yes. The Etruscans, the original Moors that was in Italy, actually hybrided the watermelon that you eat today. And this watermelon come with seeds, don't it? So just because it's hybrided don't mean that it's GMO. We have to start being very, very articulate in the way we express definitions. GMO and hybrid is 2 totally different things, y'all. We got to quit acting like it's the same thing, because it's not. You are hybrid. There's every banana you done ate is a hybrid banana. Every grape you done ate is a hybrided grape. Every watermelon that you done stuck down your throat is a hybrided watermelon. You have sex with hybrided women all the time. That's mixed with a bunch of different root races. You have sex with hybrided men. Get your DNA checked, really checked. You're going to go back to European nations. You're going to go back to everywhere else, showing that you are hybrid. So we got to quit acting like we super intelligent and just regurgitating information that we heard. And we have to start doing the due diligence and being studious enough to study these things ourselves. Same thing with seedless fruits. All seedless fruits did not happen by man. Seedless fruits is a natural occurrence in nature. And then what man does is he see nature and see the way to make millions of dollars. So he step in and he start playing God. So he replicate what nature already presented to us. That's all it was. Your first natural grape was actually discovered before 1870. And then in 1870, it was discovered in Turkey by Thompson. Thompson ended up shipping that shit to California, and he started propagating. What propagating mean is, it's called cutlings, where you will actually cut the leaf in the seed bearing of the tree, and then you will dip it in some type of natural root hormone, and then you will replant that cutling. You will introduce it to climate change, like sunlight, like rain and wind, and then you will harden off that seedling. And then what happens is it will grow. It's called propagation. Now you have a whole seedless new family of grapes that just grew. Did they have to have sex? No, they didn't, because what he did was he cut off a piece, and then he buried it and let it grow again. That's called a natural occurrence. He got that from nature. He didn't get that from a scientific laboratory. That didn't come from that. Same thing with the watermelon. A watermelon is what you would call a diploid. Di means two. See that ploid means chromosomes, just like you got an octoploid. That means it have 8 sets of chromosomes. You have a monoploid. They have 1 set of chromosomes. You have a triploid. It have 3. You have a tetraploid. It has 4 chromosomes, sets of chromosomes. And then you have polyploiding or polyploid. These things have multiple. These are your wheats, your barleys, your grains, depending on how you make them or propagate them. They're going to add chromosomes and they're going to lose chromosomes. Well, when you take a watermelon, something that you would call a diploid that comes with 22 chromosomes, and then you make that's a male one. Then you make that male 22 chromosome watermelon diploid with an actual female tetraploid, which means they have 4 sets of chromosomes. Once they mate, it's going to give birth. It's going to give birth to something called a triploid. Triploids are naturally seedless. Naturally. Now, what I mean by naturally seedless, meaning they still have the seed. You just can't see them because a cellular mutation have taken place and the seed never hardened itself off. That's all we call seedless plants. And again, I'm not sitting here telling you that you can go eat seedless things. I will never push that on anybody because it still was subjected to natural cellular mutation. A mutation brings on cancer. Yes, fruits can have cancer. Yes, vegetables can get cancer, just like your meats that you guys eat and have all of those cancers in them. That pork, when you look at that pork steak, have all of those cancers and tumors inside of it. These things happen to all living things that go through a life and death cycle. Y'all got to study, family. Y'all got to study. That's all I'm saying. So, yes, now, he also got on me because I said that I healed a woman from breast cancer off seedless grapes. I did. She went on a 60-day seedless grapes because she's from New York and she couldn't find no seeded grapes. I didn't tell her to get the seedless grapes. She went out of her way to do it. And guess what? She's still healed. So what does that tell me? That means that this is more natural than I thought, because the skin of the grape still helped. It still was astringent. It still had the phytonutrients and chemical compounds it needed. It still had the tannins that was going to thin the blood. It still had the bioflavonoids that was astringent enough to pull on that breast. And it was seedless, or so-called seedless. Remember, the seed is still there. It's just translucent because it didn't harden off. Because you didn't introduce it to an endosperm. You actually did it by way of propagating, or what you would call cutting of the leaf. So this is what I'm saying. I'm not here to go back and forth and have an intellectual debate with nobody. I'm here to tell you what I experienced through being in life, actually putting forth the work, putting people on all fruit diets, healing myself by going on a 120-day juice fast, healing myself of heart disease, healing myself of kidney failure, healing myself of vertigo when I had spots all over my face. I was 260 pounds. I am 5'6". I went all the way down to 143 of obesity. Scar tissue on my heart for having a heart attack when I was 21. Toenail fungus, fingernail fungus that I had. Thyroid messed up. Still working on my thyroid till this day. Because in my family, the genes, we have a mutation problem with our thyroids. How y'all think I can be on fruits and be on vegetables and not lose weight? That's why I have to work harder than your average person to keep my weight down. Because my genetics and my thyroids are different than yours. So you talking about somebody that put in the work. You talking about somebody that have healing houses, that done heal people. You talking about somebody that have his own clinics open. You talking about somebody that shows that, look, you talking about somebody sell millions and millions of healing products. So I'm not just speaking about what I read in a book. I'm talking about experiencing, going out here and putting people on these things, or people taking it into their own hands, and then these people are healing. So you can talk about seedless fruits all you want, or seedless grapes. I don't care. I don't promote them anyway. But when you start saying that I'm lying about something, this makes me look bad to my people. You know what I'm saying? And shouts out to my people. We got 615,000 followers, 615,000 organic followers on Instagram. I want to give y'all something. We're going to have to do a trivia giveaway or something. Shouts out to Big Facts Podcast. We got 50,000 followers off that. Shouts out to Bill Bellany and his podcast. We got over 60,000 followers off that. Shouts out to 85 South, my brother Carlos, DC Young Fly, everybody who was there. We got 30,000 followers off that alone. So, you know, we over 500,000 followers through all the hard work, all the podcasting and everything we've been doing. So I appreciate y'all for that. Like, y'all are really, really blowing this channel up. Y'all blowing the information up. But this is why I love this right here, for we can do correcting, for our people won't have the wrong type of knowledge. So my question is to this brother. If seedless grapes, and again, I'm not promoting seedless grapes, but if they are so fucking harmful to the body, like you claiming, then why is there breast healing testimonies from seedless grapes? Or why, when you take a seedless grape to the laboratory and you check the biochemistry of the seedless grapes, other than that hardening of the seed, because it still have a translucent seed in there, why do it still have the same bioflavonoids? Why do it still have the same healing compounds? Why do the skin still have the very astringent pulling factor on the lymphatic system? Why did it still open up this lady kidneys and get her lymphatic system filtrating? That's all I'm asking. All I'm asking, if it's suicide to eat a seedless grape, then why are people healing from the seedless grapes? Still losing weight from the seedless grapes and getting the nutritional factors. Same thing with the watermelon. And then when you truly study and you look these things up, again, if it ain't seeded, I'm not putting it in my mouth. But we got to talk about facts here, y'all. I'm not here for the lies and here for the intellectual debates and people trying to sound smarter. No, I'm the experiencer. I'm here to experience. I'm putting in the work. I'm putting in the work and then bringing y'all the information in real time. I'm not talking about shit that happened 200 years ago. I might talk about what happened 200 years ago and then tell you what I found through my experience now. But I'm not here regurgitating what the elders told me. I'm checking to make sure that the elders was telling us right too. And half the time they wasn't. Not throwing dust on nobody's name. Just like my information have not been 100% in maturing yet, because I'm still learning. So when I leave and I transition, it might be another young brother, another sister that come and transmute my information and make it better and present it better to the people. I'm going to clap for them. I'm going to be looking down for wherever I'm at in the afterlife or in these different dimensions of densities. And I'm going to be making sure I'm extending the olive branch to their DNA and giving them a pat on the back, sending them spiritual protection to keep going, to spit this, because they are transmuting what I taught. Y'all think that knowledge just stopped with no, it don't. And a person that have that mindset will never grow. A person that think knowledge just stopped with one person will never grow. That is a limited mindset. That's the damn rat experiment. You can't even make it out the maze at that point. What's the point of playing in life then? We got to quit doing that. Research, family. Quit taking people's word for it. Don't take my word for it. Matter of fact, let me show y'all what I was talking about too. Let me just look. Let's look this stuff up. Let's just look it up. Watch this, family. Let me go turn this camera down, because I ain't got a lot about nothing. We gonna let the internet speak for itself, articles speak for themselves, showing y'all that it's not only Yahki that's saying these things. Straight up. Let's see. Y'all got any questions so far? Where all my shit just go? Google. Y'all check this out. Okay, here we go. Look, I'm just gonna turn the camera. All right, so check this one out. This says, what are seedless grapes? Different types of seedless grapes. Let's go down to what I want to read, though. This says, if you're concerned that seedless grapes are the result of some sort of genetic modification or weird scientific wizardry, however you say that word, you can relax. The first seedless grapes actually came about as a result of natural, not laboratory produced, but natural mutation. Y'all see that? And there's way more stuff to talk about. I got books on this stuff, y'all. Books. It says who noticed this interesting development. So they was in nature. They seen this natural selection of seedless grapes. And they said, I can make some money off this. It says interestingly developing, got busy and grew more seedless grape by plant cutting from those vines. That's just one of them, y'all. I got over 80 articles saying the same thing. 80 articles, and we done been to grape farm. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. We got the only place that got more grapes than Missouri in the U.S. is California. Other than that, we make our own wines in Missouri. We have so many orchards and grape vineyards in Missouri. I done been to grape vineyard farms, and we done been told this story. We done been all around getting taught this story, y'all. Now check this out. Let me show y'all, for those that don't know about chromosomes and polyploidy and different types of classifications of actual fruits and vegetables. Check this one out. So this shows you what is a diploid. Rice. When you look at rice, rice is a natural diploid. See that? It have 2 sets of 24 chromosomes. When you look at wheat, which you should never eat wheat, it actually have 6 sets of 42. It's called a hexaploid because it means 6. When you look at maize, that's a diploid. Barley, diploid. Look, cotton is a what? A tetraploid. When you look at a potato, what is it? A tetraploid. When you look at soybeans, that's a diploid. When you look at tomatoes, that's a diploid. These things are good for us because they match the actual sets of chromosomes that we have inside of us. So it's actually good to eat what matches your chromosomes. Look, when you look at a watermelon is a diploid. They have 22 chromosomes, 2 sets of them. Cassava, diploid. Sugarcane, a octaploid. Oct means what? 8. A banana is a triploid. That's why you have natural occurring bananas. Now, everybody talk about bananas are GMO. You do have a select section of GMO that was actually created and forced in the laboratory. But most of your bananas that are seedless, which all of them have seeds, they're just not hardening off. You go to the store right now and get you a GMO banana that's seedless. If you really look inside of it, you will see the seeds. They're just not hardened. But most of them are by natural occurring selection. God did it, not us. God did it. Now, is it a mutation going on? Yes. So I don't want nothing that went through a mutation, because a mutation of cells creates mass. Mass tissues creates a pocket for toxemia. A pocket for toxemia creates crystallization and solidification. And now we have another problem setting on. So I'm not saying that I want to go around eating mutating things. I don't eat meat. I don't eat dairy, because these things are naturally mutating as well. You see what I'm saying? But all I'm saying is this. These things happen in nature. We got to quit blaming the white man for everything. Like the white man just out here fucking up. No, nature does the same thing. Nature is a unpredictable place, family, that does unpredictable things. So all I'm saying is, before we start name calling and before people start trying to call me on things that I speak about, just make sure you literally researching everything I say, and we can keep going. And after this, let's talk about breast cancer. Let's talk about breast cancer after this. But look, we can keep going. Now, check this out, because it's talking about citric fruit, right? Now, citric fruit is some of your most astringent fruit on planet Earth. The best way to get rid of cancer, HIV, AIDS, sickle cell anemia, leukemia, cleaning out the blood plasma, all of that is through citric fruit. That is the highest form of energetic frequency that's going to really astringe the cells and get the kidneys open, put the adrenal glands back online, and flush and move that lymphatic system and that lymphatic system. Did you know most of your actual citric fruit is actually, hold on, I'm gonna let y'all read it. Let me do this. Let's talk about it. It says most citric species are diploid. See that? With a basic chromosome number of X equal 9, 2 times 18. So they have 18 chromosomes 2 times. You see that? Chromosomes, I mean. It says, however, now look, I'm going to blow this up for y'all. I'm going to show you how nature works, y'all. Let me show you how nature works. It says, however, spontaneous autotetraploid. This is what this is called in nature when you see this natural mutation goes on. Y'all can look this up. However, spontaneous autotetraploid have been found amongst citrix cultivars, meaning that natural selection spontaneously messes with the mutation of the seeds, and then they go through something called autotetraploid. Now remember, when you made a autotetraploid with an actual diploid, you get a seedless fruit. It says while single triploid formation has occurred in Tahiti limes. So this showing you an actual natural selection in nature, where a spontaneous mutation will happen in nature during the actual process, and seedless fruits are actually birthed from them in nature. The white man ain't had nothing to do with that. And I'm not here defending the white man. Y'all should know me by now. The Chinese man didn't have nothing to do with that. Niggas from the hood didn't have nothing to do with that. A scientist in a laboratory with a white coat didn't have nothing to do with that. Guess who did that? Nature. Who's in control of nature? The creator. So don't get mad at me. Get mad at God. You should be mad at God. That's all I'm saying. So look, I'm on here to say this. Let's quit playing this game. Yes, so now people that want to know where your seedless key limes come from or your regular limes come from, you can't blame it on and say that they GMO'd it. That's how you can have seedless organic limes. It happened in nature, and then they propagated it and replicated it. And they keep that same stock and they let it grow bigger, and then they cut from it. They propagate it, regrow it, grow another one, sell them all out, and they keep redoing the same process. And you've been eating the same tree over and over and over and over again for over 300 years. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. So whether you eating a so-called organic seedless fruit or a organic seedless fruit, guess what? It's still a hybrid. It ain't the original. Like, we got to start being real with ourselves, family. Straight up. We got to start being real with ourselves. Let's keep it going, though. Because, I like to show and prove. I like to show and prove things. So let's keep it going. Hold on. I'm on here. Uh-oh. What we got? What do we got here? What do this say? And this is the ncbi.gov. This is talking about tetraploidy. Look, it says tetraploidy is a type of polyploidy in which a single cell has 4 sets of chromosomes. Tetraploidy is formed from what? It is formed naturally from diploid. Now, we just read about a tetraploid mating with a diploid, creating a triploid, which is a seedless fruit in nature. We see here that tetraploidy is formed from a diploid cell that goes through a mechanism such as cell fusion, or what you would call duplication or meiotic slippages. This is talking about the actual cytokinetic failure that I'm talking about when it goes through mutation naturally. It's right here, y'all. This is funny, man. It's right here. Y'all need the article? Hold on. Let's get the article. This is the article. It's by the National Library of Medicine. It's all here. This stuff happens all the time in nature. That's how you have men that's born sterile, or you have women that's born that can't reproduce. That don't mean that they GMO and that they have been messed with in a laboratory. There's some type of cellular mutation that's going on with their reproductive organs and hormones and chemistry, y'all. That's it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, family. So I guess I got on here to say this. I'm not promoting eating seedless fruit. Never eat seedless fruits, even though scientifically there's no such thing as a seedless fruit. There are seeds in everything that we eat as far as the fruit family, unless you genetically modify it in the laboratory. What y'all talking about is seeding fruits that haven't been hardened off. And if you know anything about forming and propagating, you would know that. You see what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. We just really got to start studying and applying what we learning. Now, for those that think I'm lying, I just want to do a little video. Let's just see what they say about it. Let's see what they say about it, and then we could talk about breast cancer, because breast cancer is on the rise, and we do need to talk about that. For those that want to see me, this weekend I'm going to actually be in Cincinnati, Ohio. We having a podcast style lecture there, so make sure y'all come out to see me. Click the link in the bio and click on Cincinnati event. Book your tickets and meet me there, y'all. Just meet me there. It's going up, y'all. Again, and then the weekend after that, on the 19th, I'm going to actually be in the DMV area. Click the link in the bio. Click the link in the bio and click on DMV events, book your tickets and meet me there, y'all. I'm gonna have all of my herbs at that event. At the one in Cincinnati, what we're gonna do is you're gonna be able to order your herbs on the spot there, and we're gonna make sure we get them out to you within 7 to 14 days. We're gonna try our hardest to push them out. The one in actual DMV, and I'm bringing some herbs there too. There's just not that many, but the one in the DMV, we're gonna bring all of our herbs. Okay. Now check this out, y'all. I want to show y'all this video as well. That way y'all can hear it from somebody else, and it's not just coming from Yahki. Now check this out.
Hi, I'm Josh Clark, and I'm wondering, have you ever been to a grocery store, picked up some seedless grapes, eaten them, and then just stopped dead in your tracks and thought, wait a minute, How can something that needs seeds to reproduce be seedless? These grapes shouldn't even exist. I mean, yeah, these seedless grapes could be here, but what about its children? I'm here to answer this existential question for you. It turns out that most of the fruit we eat are clones of other fruit. Most fruit is propagated, including seedless grapes, through cuttings, so they don't need to have seeds. Rather than following the traditional angiosperm method of reproduction, which means producing seeds and fruit to cover those seeds. So to produce a new bunch of seedless grapes, a whole new plant, you take a cutting from an existing vine, you dip that cutting in rooting hormone, and you put that cutting in a little bit of nice warm soil, a little moisture, and you've got a new vine that's going to produce more seedless grapes. They never have to produce seeds because they never have to reproduce.
Exactly.
But where did the seedless grapes come from to begin with?
Oh, listen up.
Turns out somewhere along the line, somebody noticed some grapes that didn't produce seeds well and said, well, hey, this is a genetic defect that I could really cash in on. Let me just keep propagating this one grape. So all the seedless grapes today are descendants or clones of that original freak of nature seedless grape.
He called it a freak of nature.
Thank the guy who figured that one out. And one last thing, the seedless grapes you eat actually do have seeds in them. They have the beginning of seeds that, through that genetic mutation we talked about, never form the hard outer shell, which means you never choke on a grape seed.
Told you.
You can thank that guy, whoever his name is.
There's no such thing as a seedless fruit. The seed still is there, it's just translucent, and it didn't go through its mutation process where it hardened off. Now, anybody that's into farming like I am and growing their own food, you would truly know that about fruits, you know. So that's that. I'm gonna leave that right there. I'm not gonna even dwell on that no more. I just needed to respond to that because I seen a bunch of people in the comment board, you know, jumping on the bandwagon talking about Yahki is just now he's changing now. He's just saying stuff that sound good. He's just saying stuff that sound intelligent. No, I'm not. I will never, ever, ever lie to my people. Everything I say is true, and I make sure that I can back it up, and that's it. So shouts out to that brother that's out there discrediting my name that don't know what he's talking about. So when y'all see brothers out there mentioning my name and talking about my knowledge and my research ain't real, just simply tell them to go look it up, and you look it up for yourself to make sure that. Always test me on everything that I say, y'all. Everything that I say. And I see we got a bunch of questions in here. I can ask some questions real quick, and then we're going to talk about breast cancer. What y'all got? Build your seed bank. I already got a seed bank. I got over 100,000 different seeds, and we have over 10,000 selections of seeds. We have contracts with over 6 HBCUs right now, where we are helping them with their agricultural program and helping them grow food for the colleges. And the food that's grown from the colleges is going to be given away for free to the students and the communities that surround the colleges. So we already doing that. I was giving out hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of seeds at each of my lectures and seminars. But what y'all was doing was y'all wasn't doing nothing with them, nor was y'all growing. And what's crazy is people that's not of our species and of our colors was taking these seeds, growing whole food forests and sending me the results. But I wouldn't get none back from my own people. So we had to quit being misusers and mishandlers of God natural giving seeds and giving them to our people that wasn't doing nothing with them. So I stopped giving them away for free to people at my seminars, but now we're giving thousands and thousands of them away to HBCU colleges because we know that they're doing something with them with the agricultural program, and we can actually keep up with them. So I already have a seed program. We already feeding hundreds of thousands of people through seeds. We've been doing this for a couple of years now, so I'm already on that. I want to start the program back up, but y'all don't do right, family. Y'all do not do right. When I start my journey, it's best to start with the 3 bitters. Yes, the 3 bitters are good to start with because the 3 bitters essentially is a body initiation detox. One is for the skin, one is for the internal, what I call the eternal organs. One cleanse out the kidneys, and one cleanse out the actual liver and all the other different types of organs that you have in the body. And it's a great lymphatic mover, the bitters are. So yeah. It says, when are you coming to Indiana or Illinois? We talking about doing that next year. Next year, we kicking off a 10-city tour. And I know for a fact Illinois is on the list. Chicago is. So those that's in Indiana, you're going to have to come to Chicago to see me. It says, would you recommend taking chlorophyll supplements or drops in water? Chlorophyll is good. Instead of taking a supplement, the isolated chlorophyll out of the actual plant, you can get your chlorophyll just by eating dark leafy green vegetables or juicing dark leafy green vegetables. Just make sure when you juice them, you're not drinking over 40 ounces of it a day, because, you know, it will start binding calcium up in it, because dark leafy green vegetables are full of oxalates, and you don't want to have a chelation of calcium within your system. So everybody want to do, you know, isolated chemistry. I don't believe in isolated chemistry, because that's playing God again, where you isolating certain types of chemistries out of your fruits and vegetables, then taking them, because it's going to start robbing your body of other chemistry in your body. It's called compensation. When you look at minerals come in pairs. You see what I'm saying? Calcium come with magnesium. And the reason why is because they both act as buffering systems in the body. Calcium is in control of contractility of the actual blood vessels, and then magnesium is for dilation and relaxation of the blood vessels. So you need them both together. What happens if you got too much calcium that's constricting and contracting the vessels, but then it's contracted to the point where it needs to relax or dilate, and you don't have magnesium to come to the cell and do that buffering mechanism to literally relax the cell to let blood flow properly. That's what you call an aneurysm. So, and that's what you start doing when you start isolating chemistry and using one mineral more than the other. So we got to be very, very careful with isolated minerals and isolated flavonoids. So if you want to get real chlorophyll, get it from your dark leafy green vegetables and juice them. That's simple and plain. And you have chlorophyll in you already. It's called melanin. Chlorophyll come from something called chloroplasts. Chloroplasts is pigmentation cells that come from a plant. You have melanopsis, or you have melanin or melanin, and these are the same thing. So you already have natural chlorophyll within you. The only difference is your chlorophyll is filled of selenium and magnesium. That's it. A plant's chlorophyll is filled with its own things, but you have these same things, and you just got to get out there and get in the sun. Somebody talked about Damiana leaf. Damiana leaf is good for libido. It's good for blood circulation to your lower extremities. It's good for giving you width and girth to your penis. It's good for getting the vagina wet and all types of stuff. So Damiana is, I call it the aphrodisiac herbs. It's good when you mix it with your hembe. Your hembe and Damiana mixed with what I call American ginseng will make a good natural Viagra to really, really get the penis hard. And you can still come and ejaculate and still keep humping. So, you know, Damiana is good for that. Take the Damiana as a tea, do everything else as a capsule. That's what I would do. How can I get some of your seeds? We building a seed program on the website right now, and it should be up by the beginning of the year. Just go on there by the beginning of the year and click on it, and then that's how you get the seeds. It says, what does flax seeds do to boost? Flax seeds are seeds that's full of protein. We use these, and flax seeds actually break down into like a lipid too. When you look at them, it go a lipid route. Flax seeds is very, very interesting and very different. I like flax seeds because it's full of natural, what you would call amino acid structures, or what the doctors call protein. It actually helps with cholesterol. It helps with lipids. You can build fiber muscle tissue off of them. Flax seeds is amazing, and flaxseed oil is amazing. But the best oil I think is grapeseed oil that come from grapes, and actual olive oil. Olive oil is amazing for the body. It says, thoughts on sea moss. Sea moss is cool, but sea moss is not the all in all. There is a bunch of other, sea vegetables that is way more powerful than sea moss and have way more minerals than sea moss. You have club moss, you have dose, you have kelp. Kelp is my number one. You have dose, you have kelp, you have club moss, you have bladderwrack, what they call fucus. Crispy crungus is good, but it was just widely promoted by one of the best healers on earth, which was Dr. Sebi. So it just got overshined, and a lot of other sea plants and vegetables that was better than that it had to come in the shadow of sea moss. But if you really do your research, and if you can get these things to a laboratory, or find a laboratory, pay them $500 that will test for you, send two things, send sea moss off and send kelp off, and see who got the most minerals. Shit, all right, you're going to see it's kelp and it ain't sea moss. And that's the sea moss we tested. And we tested over at least 38 different varieties of sea moss from different geographical locations in the Americas and outside the country. We tested personally, and we see that kelp held up and held its own with all 38. Now, I'm not saying, because I did hear that Dr. Sebi's son, Victor Bowman, I heard he had some amazing, fantastic sea moss out here. I haven't tested his yet, but I heard he had some real sea moss out here that was really doing his thing. So, I'm not speaking for all sea moss. I'm just speaking for the 38 varieties that we tested. Kelp beat that ass. Just keeping it 100. My mom have carpal tunnel. What should she do? You got to make sure it's really that. She might be going through the itises, arthritis. She might be going through inflammation of the joints. She might be going through neuropathy or different type of nerve diseases. But anytime you get into carpal tunnel, anytime you get into itises, any type of inflammatory response to the body is to kick on a detoxification mechanism. And the reason why it's kicking on a detoxification mechanism or phase in the body is because the body is trying to dispel acids and mucus, excessive mucus buildup outside of the system. So whenever you see that, go on an all fruit diet. All fruit. Don't play around with vegetables. Don't play around with oxalates. Don't play around with any type of those things. Go strictly fruits. Get on the citric side of nature. That way you can astringe and start pulling all those acids and unutilized minerals from the joints. When you start looking at things like that, people don't understand that it be glass in the joints. These glass are what you would call sand or what you would call minerals. When the adrenals are down, because the adrenals is in control of the utilization of not only your corticoids or not only your steroids and cholesterol, but it's in control of the utilization of minerals inside of the body, and it tells melanin neurotransmitters to hit that blood plasma to tell it where to deliver these minerals to. So whenever you start having joint pains, it's usually inflammation due to minerals that's being stuck inside of the joints. And then coagulations of minerals hurt like hell. And then now we got calcium trying to come save the day, and solidification sets in. And this is where you get gout and things like that from. So whenever you're dealing with things like, basically the withering away of the nervous system, the withering the way of a cellular tissue, the withering the way of bone structure and bone tissue, you're dealing with systemic acidosis, and you need to move the lymphatic system. Y'all have to remember that the lymphatic system is the sewage system of the body. Without this compartment moving, or without the lymphatic system moving, then you create stagnation. Stagnation brings on cellular mutation, and mutation brings on cellular death. So all fruit diet, high in citric. If she can do a 20-day grape diet, powerful. She can do a 20-day orange diet, powerful. She can do a 15 to 21-day grapefruit diet, powerful. Do that and drink nothing but water. You're going to see that chelation starts. You're going to see the cell starts pulling, opening up the NRF2 pathways, the meridian pathways, all these different metabolic pathways for the cells can purge themselves of all the toxemia and acids that have been created by metabolic acidosis. Because that's what's going on. Whatever the cells eat, the cells have to poop. When the cells eat, it breaks down these foods, and then the lysosome and the exosomes act as digestive enzymes inside the cells, and it starts eating away at what the cell just ate. And then the defecation is supposed to go in something called the interstitium fluid of the body. Well, this interstitium fluid is intracellular and extracellular fluid. And this is how you pass something from inside the cell to the outside of the cell to get it in the lymphatic system, for it can go through something called a lymph node. And what the lymph node do is the lymph node have macrophages and all these different types of bifidobacterium bacteria, lactobacillus bacteria, and different types of other things that chew and break down acids to further break down metabolic waste to get it to the kidneys, for the kidneys can filtrate it out through urination or through defecation by you pooping. And if that don't work, usually it'll trip the thyroid, the basement basal cell of the thyroid and the parathyroid, and it start to get you to perspire or sweat, for you can actually sweat these toxins out of your skin. And that's the reason why we call the kidney, the skin, the third kidney, or the largest third kidney organ on the body. So if you want to get rid of any acidosis, all fruit diet and hydrate. And I wouldn't drink no less than 45 ounces of liquids a day. And once you start mixing juices with liquids, that's when you really get to hydrate the cells with H3O2 other than H2O. And this will really push all the toxemias out of the cells. We are dehydrated on a systemic level, family. And that's what's truly wrong with us. And we are suffocating because we're lacking oxygen to the cell. And that's all cancer is a mutating cell that lacks oxygen that had to go an anaerobic route to survive. So if we don't put it in a stress environment and make it feel like that it needs to survive due to actual toxemia and deficiency, then you will see those cells thrive and grow and repopulate at a normal rate. It says, what about those foot detoxifications? That foot detoxification is quack. Now, the potatoes in a sock do work a little bit, but all you have to do is test it yourself. And look, I'm glad you asked that, brother. This is a fine time to do it on yourself. Instead of asking me, take what you heard. They said it worked, right? Do it yourself and see it work. That way you don't even have to holler at Yahki about it. You start an experiment on yourself, and can't nobody tell you a damn thing if it work and don't work because you tried it. This is the best time to start implementing knowledge for yourself. Get a potato, cut it in half, and put it in your socks and go to sleep at night. If you wake up and you taste that potato on your tongue and you didn't eat that potato, you know that it done made it into the bloodstream. If you look at that potato and you see a bunch of dark spots draw into that potato, it did something. So I'm saying this. I did that on my son, and he tasted potatoes, and he seen actual spots on the potato when he woke up. So I seen that after I did it on him, and his cold left, I did it on myself. I didn't really see nothing being drawn from the potato, but I did taste the potato, meaning that it did get inside of my bloodstream. But I didn't get no astringent detoxification from it. So I say it worked on children, but it didn't work on me. So this is how I would say to the public, it worked on children, but it's less likely to work on adults. That's how I would gather my data from me experimenting on myself and another subject who I call my beautiful baby boy. You see what I'm saying? This is how you heal, and this is how you approach the world. You have to approach it with your own experiences, not the experience of somebody else. That makes you a mental slave, a neurological slave to somebody else's mind, when you have your own mental that you can operate from and express your own divine nature from what you have contributed to the world yourself. You see what I'm saying? There's a difference between doers and listeners and regurgitators. I'm trying to teach y'all how to be doers of the word. That's all. Get rid of canker sores. If you got a canker sores, that means you're suffering from herpes. All right. If you're suffering from herpes, you're suffering from a Fasciolopsis buski fluke worm. If you're suffering from this fluke worm, you either got it through this. Yes, by way of injection. You either got it through touching on a cat or a dog. You got it through eating chicken. Yes, I said that. And there's another person out there saying that I'm lying about the eating chicken. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. And I'm going to do a whole lecture on that too. Yes, you can get herpes from chickens. Where do you think they come from? Huh? You can get herpes from monkeys. Where do you think it come from? It actually come from the bovine cow. That's where they got it from, mixing cows with cats' DNA. In Fort Detrick military base by the Kissinger family. Yes. The Rockefellers, the DuPonts, they created these biological weapons in laboratories. They gave it through these. Yes, 1980 is when they distribute this into our blood plasma in St. Louis, Missouri, in a blood bank in Harlem, New York, in San Francisco, California, and in Wisconsin was the 5 spots that they delivered these things to start spreading these things along with what you would call HIV. So like, we got to quit acting like that the information is not out here. It's millions of whistleblowers. I mean, all of them are coming up dead, of course, but it's many books out here, many of whistleblowers out here telling you what happened and how we getting these things. So herpes is over 118 different mutations of herpes. Over 23 now is prone to human beings. One is when it actually is in the ganglion nerve and it expresses itself through the mouth. 2 is when the sacral column, or what you would call the pelvis, and it expresses itself in the neurons and it come out on your genital areas. Then you got 3, which is called itchy elbow herpes where it's on your elbows or it's on your thighs or it can get on your leg. You got 4, which is chicken pox. Notice they call it chicken pox. Y'all think they call it chicken pox because that's what a chicken look like when it ain't got no feathers. No, hell no. Why is chicken pox a part of the herpes zoster family, huh? Because it come from damn chickens. It even have its own name. Do y'all want to look that up? Matter of fact, hold on, let's look that up real quick because I'm on my tablet today. And I'm going to do a whole lecture on this. I just ain't had time to do it. Actually, the lecture done. I just need to get it done. But check this out. Let's go to Google real quick and find out the name of this. Herpes in chickens. It's called
According to NCBI,
it's called a zoonotic
by lateral
disease.
Transmission, direct or indirect contact between birds, inhalation of infected dust containing contaminated dander, and following a complex life cycle, the virus is shed from the feather follicle of infected birds. 5.
Oh, snap. It says Marax disease in chicken. When you look up Marax disease, it's actually herpes. And you see a chicken right here with herpes. You see that? And they say that it's not a zoonotic disease when it is a zoonotic disease. And then they say, well, look, this is what they say when you really research it. Only in a very few cases, bizarre cases, have we seen the herpes pass the virus through humans by the blood barrier. They saying it's uncommon, but it have happened before. No, it happens all the time. See that? Can chickens get cold sores? Chickens carry herpes virus. You see that? Oh, snap. Let me change it. Chickens. Can I blow this up? Oh, snap. Hold on. It says Marax disease affects chickens and it caused by a chicken herpes virus. There you go. But they would tell you that it's not a zoonotic disease, meaning that you can't pass it on to humans. But I have over 6 articles where it happened. So who lying? Who's lying? And y'all know our people is chicken eating people. You love your chicken wings and wonder why you got cold sores. But Yahki is, I'm a radical. I'm an extremist. But y'all eating chickens with herpes on them. Y'all eating fish that have herpes. Have y'all seen that? Have y'all seen tilapia with the herpes all around his mouth? Canker sores growing out his ass? Did y'all see that? Google that. Hold on. Let me look this up real quick. Tilapia with chlamydia and herpes. Boy, watch this. Look at this. Herpes virus that affects fish. Hold on. Is it possible? Let me show you the chlamydia, though. It was a chlamydia outbreak and herpes virus outbreak in tilapia. Look at this. It says a viral insepticitis of tilapia larvae. Primary characterizations of a novel herpes-like virus. And look, the tilapia had chlamydia. But you like your tilapia. You like your fish fillet. Then y'all better quit eating these. If it got eyes and it bleed, y'all better quit eating that bullshit. This is common in Google. Tilapia is man-made. Here we go. Somebody else that don't know what the hell they talking about. Tilapia is not man-made. Tilapia can be mass-produced in a pool, but tilapia is basically genetic modification by 2 other fish in nature that decided to, do their thing. So look, that's what I'm saying. We have to quit. I study animals. I study diseases. I study viruses. I study pathology. I should have been a pathologist. I should have been that. So let's quit regurgitating that we hearing. No, do your own research. Do your own research and see the origins of tilapia. Now, they do mass produce them in pools now, but do your real research and go back to the beginning of where they come from. Yes, it's a hybrid. Spinal cord injury. Whenever you're dealing with a spinal cord injury, always go on an all fruit diet, no vegetables, and do a high berry diet. Berries. Berries are oxygenators. Berries are antioxidants. Berries soothe and regrow and regenerate nervous system tissues. We had a boy in Detroit. He couldn't walk. He was paralyzed from the waist down for 10 years. In 2 years, I had him walking, y'all. The testimony's still on my Facebook somewhere, but I had him walking in 2 years. Now, is he perfectly walking? I don't know yet because I haven't talked to him. I need to do that follow up and find him. But we had him walking on a cane. After 2 years, when he was paralyzed from the waist down for 10 years because he got shot. We regenerated his body. Let me not say we. And I need to start doing that, giving the body the credit and not me, because I'm not the healer. Your body is the natural healer. I just help facilitate by telling you the right foods and herbs to take. I'm not a healer. Your body is the healer. His body rejuvenated and regenerated itself when he went on an all-berry diet and he took herbs. These are facts. You can regenerate and reverse anything. These are facts. Now, is there a point of no return? Yes, of course there's a point of no return. But I have yet to see that yet for real. All right, what else we got? Women with hormone imbalances and PCOS. We got to be very, very careful with women hormones. And that's what I'm talking about when we're talking about the breast cancer. And matter of fact, let me get to the breast. I got me a breast right here. I tried to find a melanated breast, but they didn't sell them. So I'm trying to get me one made right now. But breast cancer. I wanted to talk about the estrogen and breast cancer connection. We understand that estrogen is actually created by cholesterol and created by the pituitary gland, sending signals to cholesterol inside the ovaries, producing progesterone. Then progesterone send it over to another cell, and then it converts and synthesizes estrogen. Estrogen is what you would call a cellular proliferator, meaning it grows things. That's what gives a woman her plump breasts, estrogen. That's what widens out her hips, estrogen. That's what gives her a round behind, estrogen. That's what forms the uterine wall, estrogen, the endometrium lining of the cervix, estrogen. Estrogen is what brings on the maturity of a woman, for she's able to conceive and repopulate the earth by her seed. Not by your fertilizer that you call seed, but by her seed that you call an egg. Let's get it straight. We got to start preaching the right science here. So what we notice is too much excessive estrogen buildup inside the body. It strips iron from its bound form. So when you look at iron is actually a part of a glycoprotein called transferrin. Trans just means the transportation of a molecule. Ferrin means iron. Transferrin hides out in another protein that sticks inside a cell called ferritin. That's how it's bound. So iron hemoglobin is actually bound with oxygen and it's bound to a cell and it's transported throughout the body by transferrin. And then it's transported inside a capsule called ferritin. But what happens is when the body is actually introduced with too much estrogen or estrogen-like molecules, because there are molecules that act like estrogen. For instance, the body don't know the difference between regular natural estrogen or microplastic. So guess what? If you drinking water bottles, women that's sitting in the car in front of the sun, that's not BPA free, guess what you're drinking? You're drinking microplastics, and these microplastics is going into the bloodstream and acting as estrogen in the body. So the body's going to look like you're producing too much estrogen. Another thing, alcohol. Alcohol have a lot of phytoestrogen naturally building in it. So women that are alcoholics, you have more estrogen in your body than others. You see what I'm saying? Medication. There's a bunch of medication that have estrogen-like receptors to them, where it will trick your body, your pituitary gland, your adrenal axis, and your ovaries to thinking that it have a bunch of estrogen in it when it don't. So there's many different ways to have estrogen. Chamomile herb, bunch of estrogen. Lavender, hella freaking estrogen in it. Lavender perfumes, estrogen going right. And this is synthetic estrogen. So you drinking this synthetic estrogen and you intaking all this synthetic estrogen plus the estrogen that you building up naturally. Guess what it's going to do? It actually pulls iron from its bond form and it becomes free iron. Free iron is some of the worst damage in the body because free iron rusts, because it's going to try to find as much oxygen molecule as it can. And when it does, it turns into what you would call a reactive oxidative species, or what you'll call or ROS. This brings the body and the cells into oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is when the cells start rusting and you start wearing out the telomeres to your DNA. So a mutation sets place. And when the mutation sets place, RNA copies that mutation, then it bursts a new cell. Now the cell is ugly, fragmented, and it's reproducing too fast. And guess what they call that? Cancer. And guess where it usually happens? In the breast. So when you're looking right here in the breast, if you look right here, this is what you would call the internal memory node. The internal memory node. These green spots is what you call lymph nodes. If you look at these vessels, these are called lymphatic vessels. If you look at this one, this is called the axillary branch or the axillary node. When these get blocked up because too much estrogen, and estrogen is very, very acidic, by the way, just like testosterone is very, very acidic, just like pregnenolone hormone, or what you would call steroid, is very, very acidic. What you will look at that's actually alkaline and naturally alkaline is what you would call progesterone. But all of your sexual hormones come by way of cholesterol. Without cholesterol, it's impossible to produce these actually lipid steroids that produces your sexual hormones, for you can make love and produce a child, right? Now check this out. Every month, your pituitary holler at your actual ovaries and tell it to produce something called a corpus luteum. Now, the corpus luteum is produced something by something called luteinizine. Luteinizine hormone is called LH. It's actually triggered by the pituitary gland. So a lot of people don't realize that what messes with the breast is the pituitary gland. How you got fibroids, PCOS, not PCOS, but polycystic ovarian syndrome. Yes, I said it right. PCOS and all these different types of fibroids and mass and cervical cancer inside of the breast is because you're producing too much estrogen. But what's making it do that? Everybody want to pay attention to the vagina area, but never talk about that pituitary gland. See that? You need to focus on pituitary, adrenal, and thyroid axis health. Let me say it again. You need to focus on pituitary, adrenal, and thyroid axis health. Y'all think I'm lying? Let's look it up. See, this is all right here. Let's look it up, though. Let me show y'all how y'all getting breast cancer. Adrenal pituitary thyroid axis. See that?
According to NCBI, a major component of the homeostatic response is the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, an intricate, yet robust, neuroendocrine mechanism that mediates the effects of stressors by regulating numerous physiological processes, such as metabolism, immune responses, and the autonomic nervous system.
All right, now check it out. Let's look at it. So this is the hypothalamus campus. This is the pituitary. We see that the trophins, or what you would call descending hormones, is coming down. It passes through the hypothalamus campus or the hippocampus all the way down to the pituitary gland. Then it goes to the thyroid. You see the thyroid stimulating hormone, and it gives itself a negative feedback. Then it goes into the bloodstream and it hits the adrenals. This is actually how you create what you would call your cholesterol or your sexual hormones. When that feedback loop is messed up, the only way that feedback loop get messed up is when you're introducing your body to cytotoxins. You're going through toxemia, or you're going through a deficiency, or you're putting too much estrogen in the body. That's why if you hear breast cancer, they'll call it triple negative invasive ductal breast cancer, HER2 positive. Why they saying it's HER2 positive? Because it's prone to have estrogen molecules attached to it. Remember, estrogen grows shit. The same thing as arginine. Arginine is an amino acid that's a part of the proliferation of a cell. That's why if you have herpes, you can't eat things that have arginine in it, because it's going to promote cellular growth, which is going to give you canker sores and break you out, whether it's in the ganglion nerve or whether it's actually in the caucus area of your body. That's why you have to have more L-lysine. The same thing that happened with cancer. Estrogen grows cancer. Arginine grows it. Now, every food you have estrogen in it. You just got a few foods that don't. So you just have to make sure that you're eating food that's going to naturally stimulate your pituitary gland to give you more progesterone than estrogen. Same thing when you got herpes. You have to eat more food that have more L-lysine than arginine, because you can't have one without the other, because God didn't create things like that. You see what I'm saying? So you have to stay away from alcohol if you want to cut down your all-cause mortality by breast cancer. You have to get rid of all bottled things. Plastic cookingware, get rid of that shit. Throw it away. Do not store your food in plastic containers. That is microplastic. Get you a shower filter, because you are actually getting a bunch of microplastic in your shower. Then the heat actually warms up your skin, thins out your blood, and open up your pores. So these microplastics is going straight into the bloodstream, going straight to the vagina, and you getting more estrogen that way. Remember, these are estrogen-like molecules. Now, remember what I was saying. What estrogen does is it literally pulls iron out of its global form that's actually in its bonded form, and it creates a free iron or free form. And y'all just get on Google and look up free iron. Then look up bound iron, look up ferritin, look up transferrin, look up the Fe or the Fe, or what they call Fe. You got Fe2, Fe3 plus. These are talking about cations and anions. When these start happening and you start having a bunch of free iron in the blood, especially, and that's why if you look at breast cancer, it's always usually in women that's in their 40s or up after they go through menopause, because once you go through menopause, you don't actually have a menstrual cycle no more. Usually you can get rid of all this iron through your menstrual cycle. That's why women that's anemia, notice they lose a lot of blood when they have heavy periods, but they don't get breast cancer. But the moment that you go through menopause, you can't have those periods no more. You getting rid of all of your iron. That's why you see most women that have heavy periods are anemic. The reason why they're anemic, because they're losing so much iron. Notice, so when you see iron building up in a woman that have a bunch of estrogen, sooner or later, she's going to get diagnosed with breast cancer. Now, what happens? Soon as she go to the doctor, they're going to get a mastectomy, cut off the breast, and then they're going to give her all of these chemotherapy treatments, probably some radiation treatments, and then she go into remission about 2 to 5 years, and then it metastasize, and it's so-called spread to the lungs. That's why all breast cancer reoccurrence always end up with lung cancer, y'all, because we're doing the wrong methodology and treatment of cancer. Don't treat cancer, take it through its natural detoxification mechanism, which is why it's there in the first place, and let the body get rid of all the endotoxemia that's inside the cellular structure. So I'm going to show y'all how to do this. You have to get rid of all estrogen, right? So to get rid of estrogen, stop drinking alcohol off back, right? Because they have cytoestrogen-like molecules in them. Make sure that you're not eating soybeans. Soybeans have a bunch of natural estrogen in it. Don't do that at all. Quit drinking and eating out of anything that has plastic, because that will leak cytoestrogen and cytogen-like estrogen things to you. Do not put your stuff, well, I can't even say that because I'm going to say don't put your plastic water bottles in the sun, but I'm telling you don't eat plastic anyway. And stay away from herbs and vegetables that have high amounts of estrogen in them. And all you got to do is do a simple Google, make sure it's a trusted site, and you will see that a lot of herbs, female herbs at that, come with a natural bunch of estrogen in it. Why you think you don't tell people to do black cohosh when they have vagina issues, or they because it have a bunch of estrogen in it? It's going to cause more harm than good to the body. Y'all see that? All right, now breast cancer. If I was a female and I had breast cancer, the first thing I would do is I would go completely all raw. I wouldn't eat nothing that was cooked. I would go completely raw until my diagnosis was reversed. All right. I'm not going to do nothing but eat vegetables and fruit all raw. And I'm going to make sure my vegetables is at a 70%. And I'm going to make sure, my fruits is at a 70% and my vegetables is at a 30%. That's what I'm going to eat. 70% fruit, 30% vegetables, all organic. I will try to find a local farmer's market who I can trust, that I know that grow their food, that don't spray their food with herbicides, insecticides, and pesticides. That's what I would do. Also, I would stop wearing bras completely, because what bras do is, imagine you having all of these lymph nodes inside of your breast, and then you are literally pushing these breasts up. These lymph nodes become entangled and they start closing. So now you don't have the proper thyroid duct drainage out of the breast. So now the lymph node vessels cannot drain properly anymore. So you have stagnated lymph that's just hanging around in these areas, causing the coagulation of not only blood, but in lymphatic fluid. Now, guess what's in lymphatic fluid, y'all? Remember, the lymphatic fluid is the actual sewage system of the body. So what's in the lymphatic fluid? Toxemia, fecal matter from metabolic waste byproducts, unutilized minerals. You see that? Sickle cell bloods have been destroyed. Dead cells, dead blood cells, unutilized hormones, unutilized steroids, acids. These are the things that supposed to go inside the trash can. What happens if you don't take your trash out? You usually get backed up. So imagine you having these breasts, and then you have all these lymph drainage ducts or vessels there, and then you lifting them up and you turning the vessels the right side up when they're supposed to be going down, for you can drain through your thyroid duct outside of your kidneys through your urination. All that stagnation is going to get caught in the breast. Then you got estrogen-like hormones in that same area with coagulations of cells and blood cells. You're going to grow tumors. Once you grow tumors, remember, it ain't going to go into the blood cells. The tumors are there to become the trash can, for you won't die of acidosis or a pH potential hydrogen change of the blood. So it's going to constantly collect and grow. Now the ducts, invasive ductal carcinoma, now the ducts is going to start hardening out, and that tissue and that mass in that breast is going to get hard as a rock. Then it starts turning black, and then you start seeing your whole breast get ate from the inside out due to the acidosis. I have over 300 pictures of tumors of breast where the tumor literally have eaten all of the tissue around the breast to try its hardest to make it up out of the breast. You see what I'm saying? So how do you drain these things? Hydration. 55 ounces of liquids a day. Nothing but dark leafy green vegetable juice, astringent fruit juice. The rest of it, make it up with H2O spring water, natural spring water that comes in a glass. Remember, get rid of the plastic. So we talked about food, 70-30, 70% organic natural fruits, astringent fruits, 30% dark leafy green vegetables, watery vegetables, 55 ounces of liquids a day. Out of that 55 ounces of liquids, 25 of them ounces need to be either dark leafy green vegetable juice or astringent fruit juice. Switch them up. On Sundays, drink 25 ounces of astringent fruit juice. On Mondays, drink 25 ounces of dark leafy green vegetable juice. Make sure it's organic. Then the other 25 you have to make up daily should be H2O spring water. Always drink it warm. Always drink it warm, not even room temperature. Always drink it warm, because this is going to get the chelation moving. This is going to open up the bile ducts, the duodenum, the jejunum, the cecum, all these things that you need to get the fecal matter out of your digestive system, for you can relieve the volumetric pressure off of all the lymph nodes that's inside of your gut, because that's where it's at. That's the thyroid duct. That's the cytothyroid duct lymph node right there. Yes. Once you open it up, the floodgates open up. You have to remember, from the head up, what do they call that? Huh? They call that the cervical area. See that? From the eyes up, Seth. Seth means head. From the neck up, cervical. From the neck down to your pecs, they call that the axillary. Once you get down here, they call it the goat, the gut-associated lymphatic tissues. You start going further, they call it the Peyer's patches. Then you got the thoracic duct that drains the right to the left. Then it goes to the kidneys and it go out through your urination. Like, if anybody know their lymphatic system, it will be me. And I know how to drain it. You have hundreds of miles of lymphatic vessels that you have to drain. This sometimes take a while, but it moves faster when you are actually hydrating the body through fruits, vegetables, and H3O2 juices. Not only that, you have to jump. I keep trying to tell y'all about the trampoline. Take your bra off and jump and let them things bounce. Move that lymphatic system. The more you bounce them things, the more you're causing friction. You're causing a violent reaction. Imagine you making these jump up and down with that friction and that violent reaction. You starting to move lymph now. Plus they hanging because they not sitting up all bunched up in a bra. And most of your bras have metals in them anyway. So get rid of that anyway, because it throws off the microhertz of your electrical system, or what you will call your magnetic grid anyway of your body. You see what I'm saying? So yes. So jump up and down. Do probably like 20 minutes of trampolining a day, or what you would call rebounding. Do about 20 minutes of that a day. And breast massages. Massage your breasts. Massage them constantly, at least once a day. Give yourself a breast massage. If you have a significant other, get them to get you some castor oil. Mix your castor oil with actual grapeseed oil and massage your breasts. Castor oil, it literally dives deep into the blood. It dives deep into the tissue, and it has a way of breaking up coagulation of cells, or agglomerations of cells. So get that castor oil in there and deep massage it. Make sure when you're massaging it, don't massage it towards the nipple, because we're not trying to get to the kidneys. It's life or death here. Forget the kidneys right now. We're gonna be getting them up and running, but we have an outlet. It's called a fontanelle, our alternative route of elimination, which is the nipples. We're gonna massage everything towards them nipples. Hopefully we get some black mucosa goo coming out of them nipples. That means you're healing. You see that? And of course, as far as the herbs, you're going to get my geogenetic therapeutic package level 2. Now, if you don't want to buy the herbs, that's cool. You can go on my website, click the geogenetic 2 package, and get all the herbs and make them yourself. It don't matter to me, long as you healing. See that? Long as you're healing, it's not about the money. But that's what you need to do. Make sure you encourage yourself to get in sunlight. There is no biological process that happens in your body or in nature without sunlight. Make sure you get an adequate amount of sleep, because when you sleep and you're resting, that's when glutathione kick on, the NRF2 pathways open up, and your body and melatonin pushes and forces the body to restore or restorate itself. It goes through a detoxification natural process. And last but not least, stay checking your pee. Check your urine. Make sure you're filtrating. You see that? And oxygen, oxygen, oxygen. Breathe, breathe, breathe. If you can, find somebody with a hyperbaric chamber. Get in that deal and get as much oxygen into you. Or you can get oxygen therapy by way of IV. It's called O2 therapy. Get that oxygen up in you. And look, you will start seeing that, voila, poof, be gone. There is no more breast cancer, and we don't know what the hell happened to the tumor. It was a miracle. That's what they call it. It was a spontaneous healing. That's what they call it now, y'all. When they want to justify that nature really works, they call it spontaneous healing. We don't know what the hell happened. Yes, an air purifier, plant air purifier. The spider plant is a good air purifier. The money tree is a good plant air purifier. You got all of that. Make sure you always cleanse your air. Yeah, that oxygen IV is amazing. We do that at the clinic in Houston. In my clinic in Houston, we got oxygen therapy. That is amazing. What else is too is ascorbic acid therapy, vitamin C therapy. Amazing. We done seen a bunch of cancers be reversed just off of that alone, showing you that cancer too, your body forces itself into a detoxification when it's lacking. Remember, either toxicity or deficiency. When the body is deficient of ascorbic acid, or what they call vitamin C, that is that's a bed of cancer, y'all. If y'all got everything, but they still, look. So, what's his name? It says, I am black unto the ground. It got the menorah. Shalom, shalom, lakabish pati. I don't know if you ish, or I don't know if you're isha, if you're a man or a woman, but you're right. So it's this one woman we healed of breast cancer. Well, my bad. Her body healed itself of breast cancer. We just helped facilitate it. We gave her the herbs, we gave her the 3 bitters, and we gave her our fruit diet. She was on grapes. I actually got this testimony on my not my Patreon, but I got it on my Rumble, and it's on my Instagram. It was a black lady from St. Louis, Shalom Okoti, if you out here listening to this. She's completely raw, plant-based now and all of that. But we had her body healing. Her body healed itself of so-called cancer. Her body detoxified itself and the cancer was no longer there. And they still tried to get her breast. They still wanted to remove her breast after the fact. Ain't that crazy? Got the paperwork, everything. They still wanted to remove her breast. Crazy, man. Crazy. So, yes, that's how you do that. But look, y'all, I got to go work out. I've been working out. I've been getting it in the gym. Consistent every single day. So I'm finna get up out of here. I'm finna go work out. I just wanted to address the breast cancer, show y'all what to do, ladies, for that. And I want to address them rumors about me lying. Check everything I ever say. I don't lie. You know what I'm saying? Yes, everything I ever say. What brand of castor oil? I got Jamaican castor oil that works pretty good. Pretty good. All right, y'all, I'm finna get up out of here, y'all. Remember, if y'all want to see me this weekend on the 11th, I'm in Cincinnati, Ohio. Click the link in my bio, my link tree. And I got a dope ass new link tree too that I got to upload. I'm probably going to do that tomorrow. But click the link in my bio. Click on Cincinnati, Ohio. Get the tickets. Look, don't meet me there. Beat me there. We're going to have an amazing time. I'm spitting some information that y'all have never heard. But guess what? I can back it up. Also, on the 19th, I'm going to be in the DMV area, y'all. We're going to be in Maryland, which is only 10. We right outside of D.C. We like 10 minutes outside of D.C. So Virginia, come out and see me. Washington, D.C., the whole D.C. area. Come out and see me. You know what I'm saying? Anybody in Maryland, come out and see your boy. The king gonna be in the building. We're going over information that you have never heard before. I'm gonna have all of my herbs there too, so come and check us out. Just click the link in the bio. With that being said, I love y'all. Of course, I'm gonna say this. Okay, a lot of people saying they're gonna send me on the 19th. If you coming to Ohio, let me know right now on the 11th. You coming to Ohio to see me, Cincinnati? Let me know. Let me know you'll be there. If you coming to see me in the DMV area on the 19th, let me know. Don't worry, we got a 10-city tour next year. Start the beginning of the Gregorian January. God Janus, the two-faced God. We're going to be everywhere. We most definitely hitting the Bay Area. I've been building a lot of connects in the Bay Area. We definitely hitting the Bay Area. Yeah, we just expanded our management team. Man, we finna go crazy, man, straight up. Shouts out to Boom from AE, Authentic Entertainment. That brother is a very, very studious brother. He's a master of his craft. He amazing, man. He amazing. So we really finna expand and do a lot of stuff. So shouts out to new management as well. New Jersey. I'm finna be in New Jersey next month. I got a big podcast I'm doing out there. We got a bunch of podcasts coming up. Again, shouts out to y'all that brought me to 615,000 organic followers. Shouts out to my 223,000 followers on YouTube. Shouts out to my 185,000 followers on Facebook. Shouts out to my 400 and some followers on TikTok, 400,000. Like we really pushing. And then we put all of our videos together. We are over 17 million views just on podcasts and stuff like that alone. So, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all listening to the information. But what I love the most is when y'all apply the information for self and y'all learn this stuff yourself and y'all experience this yourself. Don't take Yahki word for anything. Don't take nobody word for anything. Apply the work yourself. And if the results work for you, you go screaming for the rooftops. If not, then I'm a liar. That's how you do it. So shalom lakai y'all, bishpati, peace, love, light, and healing. Ani ahev atham, which means I love y'all. Peace to the gods, peace to the earth. I'll catch y'all. See y'all this weekend. Cincinnati, Ohio. Come see me. DMV area. I see y'all there. Blessings. Click the link in the bio. www.yakiawaken.com. It's for anybody any healing, any modality needs. Check me out. It's all on there. Just type in just go on YouTube and type in Yahki interviews. All of the podcasts I've been doing will pop up, and we pushing. And my podcast studio should be done by the beginning of next year, and hopefully Yahki TV will be done too. Like I said, we got a whole new team working on stuff. A lot of stuff been getting done, family. I do this for y'all. And the forum, I can't wait to show y'all the new clips at the forum. I got some new clips I ain't put out yet. So, man, we working. I love y'all. Peace. Blessings.